Hello everybody, today we're going to talk about just the channel and various things, just an update. I've got some videos lined up for you coming up, two of them about Starfield, one about character options and why don't we have steampunk and cyberpunk and things like that in science fiction. Why do we have to have hard science fiction as they call it? Because let's face it, hard science fiction is based on the present, not the future. So it's not really science fiction at all, it's just science. And in my experience, they don't tend to work as well as pure fantasy, like Dune, like Star Wars. Once you start getting more science facts, you lose the advantages of science fiction. That's what one of the videos is about. That's the theme, and I go into detail there. Although when I made that video, my throat was really itchy and I really found it difficult speaking. So it isn't as long as I wanted it to be, and it didn't go into the detail I wanted it to go into. Second one is about dialogue and skills. Skills. And some of the advantages and disadvantages of the system that they're employing, and what I, as a modder, might be able to do about it. But understand though that given the fact I've just finished, 8 days where I was working 7 12-hour shifts with 1 day to go from day shift to night shift, that I didn't really have a lot of time to do much this week. So the videos you have been watching were recorded before that because I knew that was coming up. So hopefully you didn't notice and it just went smoothly. In the meantime though, understand that if I do mod Starfield, it will take me longer to make any mods because I do have less time. If I wanted to do it full time and produce mods one every 3 months, then I'd need this to be my income, which is why Patreon, which when I was running it was so important, it's closed now because there wasn't enough support there. So if I do mod a Starfield, it could take, instead of taking 3 months, it might take me 9 months to make anything worthwhile. In the meantime, though, understand that last time I modded a game, I went to look at a modded game, it's Fallout 4, and I refused to mod it because I hated the dialogue system. So if the dialogue system on Starfield is just as bad, I might just skip the whole game and not mod any of it. But quite frankly, I think what they've done is they've just repackaged the Fallout system, the Fallout 4 system. So, but it depends on how they've done it. Because if they do it, make it such a long-winded process of just adding a single line, then just getting you to click on one line requires a major lot of work. And when you're producing lots and lots of lines, you can spend a long time just adding the dialogue. On the other hand, though, right, not having a protagonist that speaks, that has some massive advantages, and it does make things a lot easier. You can have loads and loads of dialogue, loads and loads of things to say, and the characters you just have to record are the ones that you're speaking to, the lines you're speaking to. So that is an advantage. But we'll talk about that in one of the videos. Regarding the channel itself, it's doing really well right now. I'm actually quite surprised, how much it's picked up. It might drop off a bit this week because I have been quite busy. I've had a punch on my bike and I've had to fix that. I've had to order stuff. I've got a new keyboard here, right, which I'm using to replace my old clicky one because the other one was a Corsair K9, so really good keyboard, 12 years old. Works perfectly, just a bit dusty. This is a cherry keyboard. They usually make great keys. In fact, I believe the Corsair uses cherry keys. This one is slimline though, says so, and it's also a lot quieter. Like if I just press that, so you can't hear it. The idea was when I do gameplay videos, you don't have to listen, so the keys going click, 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 click all the time. It's one of my many improvements to the video system. As is this. I don't know if you can see, but I've got a dedicated light up there now to light the scene better than it has been. So I've been on these grainy images, hopefully it'll look pristine. I've also got my camera mounted properly, so that's done there. So I've solved a few issues straight away, which I know annoys me and probably annoyed you. So we're heading in the right direction. It might take a few months if I can afford to make all the other changes I want, but decent monitor, decent keyboard, new PC, lighting stand, new camera. I'm going to replace this because I'm using my phone to record this because it's a good quality image and it's got a decent mic on it. But I am going to replace it with a proper 4K camera eventually and have that set up full time. I can just flick a switch and bang, goes live. But in the meantime, though, things are going quite well. Quite well. I will expect them to drop off a little bit, in the next week. But after the next shift at work, I've got 12 days off. I'm going to knuckle down, make some videos for you, and get started with some real content again. It will just be me talking. It'll be something a bit more interesting, maybe some gameplay videos. If you want to see more Daggerfall, let me know. It's not doing too bad right now. The first episode, I really didn't know how to play it when I loaded that up. I've since been back on it and I'm getting more familiar with it now. I'm getting an idea. To be honest, Daggerfall, whilst it's an Elder Scrolls game and people hold it in reverence for that reason, in the scheme of things, when it came out, it really wasn't that good. There were quite a few games released decade before that were much better RPGs than that ever was. So I can understand why people tend to miss it when it came out. Although procedurally generated worlds, yeah, they can be difficult to produce, but you do get a really sense of immersion from it. I did, at least. You're ducking and diving in dungeons and stuff and attacking things. But my skills have risen to the point where I can take on a rat now and it doesn't kill me. But it was quite exciting. There is something about, I mean, like the Dark Souls, gameplay, where you might die any minute. That used to be the standard. In fact, I got sick of it, because you have save points. And if you die, you got to go back to the save points. I stopped playing them games because it was all right at first, but it rapidly gets old having to replay the same level over and over again, especially when they deliberately go out of their way to make the level incredibly difficult. Because back in the day when they did that, they used to make it difficult so you didn't notice there was only a few levels in the whole game and not the 100 like they claimed. So it was just a trick to stop them having to do more work. But Dark Souls is not a game I like, and my understanding is Elden Ring, which they produced for it as well, is also a really bad PC port, just like Dark Souls was. So I'm glad I didn't buy either of them. I know some of you younger players might love them to bits, but I've seen it before, done it before, played it before, not impressed. Anyway, we're going to leave it there. I'll see you in the next one. And hopefully, I get another couple of videos recorded before I go back to work for you, so you've got something interesting to watch. But keep an eye out for the 2 Starfield videos coming up this week. See you shortly.